Hi everybody, this video is going to show you how to take through Design Space a new SVG bundle which enable you to make these lovely 8-sided boxes, and there's quite a lot of variation you can choose from. You can make it with a base that's the same depth as the lid, or you can have a deeper base and you can put drawers underneath, and then you've got the option of these inset panels for decoration or these lovely floral panels for decoration. And of course, you can also reduce the box down to make a much smaller version of it as well. This little one with the gold floral overlays is reduced down to cut from A4, and the other two are made at size. The dimensions are all on the Etsy listing. I won't run through them all now. There's a close-up on the basic box, where really this is the one I started with first. So it has a shallower lid than the base, and then you've got these inset panels which apply to every surface. This one then I made with a base which was the same depth as the lid, and at all 8 sides there's a drawer that pushes in underneath. I really love that one. It's my favourite one. That's the 3 of them together. I'm going the wrong way. There we are. There's a close-up on the one with the floral overlay. That's really pretty, and that is on all sides. We can see it on its own later. There's the box with the drawers coming out. There you can see the floral overlays that are all around the lid sides and the base side. The lid is hinged and it drops down onto this clever little cuff that fits around the top of the base, so it's held really securely in place. They feel beautiful, these boxes. Obviously, they're not really intended as a gift box. You could use it as a gift box, but it's really intended as a keepsake box. It's a beautiful, durable thing when it's finished, and definitely not one for throwing in the bin, I don't think, just when the present's been opened. There's a close-up on the one with the drawers. There's the one that I reduced down to cut from A4, but it's still a good size. It's 20 centimeters, 7.8 inches across, and 9 centimeters, 3.5 inches deep. And obviously, you can imagine that the bigger one is significantly bigger than that. And this floral overlay, you can see it quite well there. There's a close-up on the hinge, where how the lid is fitted, and this cuff that it drops down over onto. Those are the full sizes. When you cut it at the size it's actually designed at, it's 26 centimeters across, 10.25 inches, and about 12 centimeters deep, 4.6 inches deep. So it is a big box. It's really meant, I've just got this thing about boxes. I really like boxes. So for me, it's a keepsake box. It's a box I would keep, and I'd keep something in it. But you could also give it as a gift box, and then that the box is intended for somebody to keep as well. Right, I don't think I need to talk about anything else here. Let's go to Design Space and we'll look at bringing it in. So I'll just go back to the canvas. So you're just going to open a new project. I'll bring all the files in from scratch. People have asked me to do that now, so that's what I do. So upload button, and then the green upload image button, which is a bit confusing because it's not an image we're bringing in, it's a true cut file SVG, but anyway. Then at this window I always click browse because I have Design Space on full screen. I'm on the PC desktop version for PC. So click browse, navigate to wherever your files are. I've been bringing these in a lot today, so I'm already there. So you get 5 files with this project. You get the basic box, and then you get 2 files for the different panels you can stick on for decoration, and then you get a file for the drawer and a file for the drawer pocket, which will become clear once you read your instructions. So I'm just going to bring in the basic box at the moment. These videos really are only to show you how to handle the score lines and maybe talk a little bit about how we can lay them out, but this one's pretty basic actually. You do get lots of information in your PDF of instructions, which helps with your choices when you're cutting it as well. So this is just going to be the box with a deeper base and a shallower lid and those bits of the cuff. So that's the standard SVG, a plain box with a deeper base and a shallower lid. So we'll bring that in now. So just continue, you don't need to change anything. Continue at that last window, upload at this one, and it lands on your canvas already selected. I'll just zoom out. It is a big SVG, obviously. These octagonal panels are big in themselves, so you can imagine that the SVG altogether is big. So the first step, it lands and it's selected. You're just going to ungroup it. That lets you see the two groups inside. The top one is where the lines that need converting to score live, and the bottom one is all the coloured cut pieces. So we're just going to select that bottom group, which has all the coloured cut pieces in it, and we're just going to ungroup it. And you can see they're spread out now all the way down the layers panel. There are lots of them. Then we're going to click that first group, which contains those lines we need to convert to score. Go to your operations menu, click on where it says basic cut, because at the moment that's what they would do if you sent it to cut. Choose score from the drop down, and you can see that they've been converted. But then, because there's more than one set, you can see there are scores on lots of different groups, lots of different pieces, pardon me. We've got to ungroup them. So again, ungroup is at the top of the layers panel here. It's that very first of those three icons at the top. If you're using the mobile version, all your menus are across the bottom, aren't they? But these are the commands that you're looking for. So now everything on canvas is a separate piece, the scores and the cut pieces, and now we need to attach individual scores to just the piece that they relate to. Quickest way to do that, click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to enclose it, and choose attach, wherever that is for you. For me, it's at the bottom of the layers panel. And you need to do that for every piece on canvas that's got scores. For speed now, I'm going to use Alt-A on my keyboard. It's just a little bit quicker than moving over there with my mouse every time. But all I'm doing is I'm selecting them. I just need to move that out of the way so I can get this one. You don't need to select the whole thing. You just need to touch both the score and the piece, and it will select it all, and then just attach. These are the inner and outer. That's the lid, so that's the inner and outer lid. This is the little hinge. Attach that. These are the base walls. Don't worry about the fact that they're different shapes at the moment. All that is explained in, whoops a daisy, don't want all that, move that. All that is explained in your PDF of instructions. Just a bit tricky to get in when they're that close together, isn't it? There. Have I done that one? Yes, I did. And now these are the cuff pieces. Again, as I say, you don't need to go around the whole thing. You just need to make sure that you touch the score and the piece, and it will attach. That's because my scores are compound paths. That might not be the case for every SVG you buy, but it is with mine. Right, so now everything's attached and we're ready to go. I'm going to cut. I'm imagining that I'm cutting, let's just go back and have a look if I can find it, this box where I made the whole basic box from the same colour, and then I cut panels to decorate. So make it. I'm not going to save it. I've got it a dozen times in my library. It will cut from 12 by 12. You could also cut it from anything bigger, A3 at least. Tabloid, you might just squeeze it from tabloid if you wanted to be economical. It'll tell you you can't. Oh, and it will. That's neat, isn't it? So if you're using tabloid in the US, because you can't get A3, tabloid is a nice size of paper because you've just got that extra length. You'd need 6 sheets for the whole box. But let's just go back to 12 by 12, which we know we can all use for sure. And I'm just seeing if there's any potential to move things around, and I think there are. We've just got 2 little cuffs on their own there. I'm just gonna see if they might move. We'll try that one. I don't know if they will actually. They might just be a fraction too wide, but we'll try it on that one. Yeah, they will. That's good. Yep, so if you're using 12 by 12, you would need 8, because I've just emptied that one there. You'd need 8 sheets of 12 by 12. Can't cut it, obviously, the main box at this size from A4 or letter, it's too big. If you were using A3, let's just have a quick look at that for the sake of argument. We'd need, again, I think you could get those. Or you might not be able to actually. A3 is a little bit narrower than 12 by 12. Yeah, if you're using A3, you'd need 7 sheets. Just puzzling No, you wouldn't, you know, because let's just go there. You could turn those round. Ugh, not like that, obviously. Let's just try and get that straight again. Hold your shift key down and then it'll snap vertical. You see, you're going to get at least another 2 there. And you can do the same there. So yeah, you'd need 6 sheets. You'd get those 4 on those 2 other sheets. So A3 is 6 sheets of A3. So that's pretty straightforward, really. I'm not going to cut it, so I'll press cancel. So that's the basic box. So I'm just wondering what else I need to show you now. Yeah, if you were cutting the box and you wanted drawers with it, then you would need to bring in the drawer piece and the drawer sleeve. So I'm just going to browse again. So the actual drawer is there. I've got these in a different colour, but we can soon change it if you want to cut everything out the same colour, like I did when I made my wood effect box. So we'll just bring that in. We won't worry about it for now. And I'm going to get the pocket, the drawer pocket as well. And again, if you don't know what that means, don't worry. It's all explained in your PDF of instructions when you get it. And it's really not a difficult project, this one. You have to be painstaking, you have to be accurate, but it's not difficult to understand at all. And there's a lot of repetition with it, which is quite nice. Right, so we need to do the same thing with these as we did before. So we're going to ungroup it. We're going to select the score, select the lines, pardon me, and convert them to score. And then I'm just going to make that cut piece the same colour as everything else, because if we were cutting it all from the same colour, that's what we would need to do. I'm just going to select those 2 now and attach them. And then there's the pocket. Ungroup it. Select the lines that need converting to score. Go to your operation menu, choose score, and then I'm just going to select that cut piece on its own, make it the same colour as the rest of the box, and then select it and attach it. And then of course it's an 8-sided box. If you're making drawers for it, you need 8 of each of these. So you just select them both and then duplicate them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the biggest box you can make, obviously, because you've got your deep base, you've got the lid, and you've got 8 drawers underneath. So this obviously is definitely going to take a lot of card, isn't it? But I did make one of these when I first started making it, and it's a pretty spectacular box. So, yeah, obviously we can still choose 12 by 12. Everything fits on. It's not the most economical cut because you can see here you can only get 1 drawer on 12 by 12, whereas you can get 1 drawer out of an A4 or possibly, yeah, letter or A4. So really for the drawers, if you've got the same card in the same colour, make your drawers out of A4 or letter because it's a more economical cut. Just go down here. Yeah, so if you were just leaving Design Space to do its thing, you'd need 21 sheets of 12 by 12, which is a massive amount of card, isn't it? But that's a huge box. It's a real project, is that one. That's just to show if you were bringing the drawers in at the same time. And the reason I wanted to do it in this stage is because people often ask me, how can I reduce your project down so I can cut it on smaller paper? And really the only rule is that you need to think about the project you're going to make, and then every piece that you're going to need to make that project needs to be on your canvas before you reduce it down. So for simplicity's sake, we're going to keep, just so it gives Design Space a bit less to think about, we're just going to keep 1 drawer pocket, 1 drawer, and we're going to keep just 1 wall A and wall B for the lid, 1 wall A and wall B for the base, and don't worry about wall A and wall B, that's explained in your PDF. It's just relates to how you fit them together. You can see that each one is slightly different. And then I'm going to imagine that I want to make overlays. I'm going to reduce this box down so I can cut it on A4, but I also want to include the floral overlay on it. So I'm going to go back, upload image, browse, and it's flower panels I've called that one. I thought I'd called it something different, but it's called flower panels, which makes sense really. So just continue, upload, and they land on your canvas and they've come in at the right size, which they will do because they're cut files. Okay, so the maximum, I'm just, for argument's sake, I'm just saying that I want to cut this box now on A4. And I know that the maximum cutting width for A4 is 19.7 centimeters. So I need to reduce everything down, and when I do that, the biggest piece in the file, which is this one and that one as well, but this one most importantly, needs to be no bigger than 19.7 centimeters. So I select everything, and then I use one of the corner handles and I'm just dragging in, and it's a little bit of trial and error. I'm going to stop there and check the size of that now, and it's still too big. So again, select everything, drag the corner handle in. If you use the side walls, it'll distort it. If you use the base wall, it will distort it. You've got to drag it with a corner handle. Let's check the size again. Still a little bit too big. Still a tiny fraction too big. It does work on A4. That's the one I made my pretty one from. That says 196 now. So if you're an absolute pedant like me, you could just try and sneak it out a bit more. Yeah, I think we're going to stop there. 19.63. So, but now we need 4, 6, 8 of those walls, don't we? Because I got rid of 6. I mean, you can leave them on and try and enlarge and reduce them all, but it just gives Design Space a bit less to think about. So we've got 2 there, 4, 6, 8, and we've got 1 of those, and we need 8. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and obviously we need just 1. I'll just ungroup those. They're still grouped. Sorry. That's the lid overlay, which goes on the lid like that, obviously. And you can see this here is 196.3 and this is 197.1. It is intentionally a tiny little bit bigger than this because once you've made your box, it's just inevitable that your actual box won't measure the same as this is, because you've got your joins on your walls and it does just open that size out a little bit. So I make the overlay bigger on purpose, so it definitely makes a nice cover for the lid of your box, and it joins up with the other overlay pieces the same way. So that's why the overlay piece is just slightly bigger than the top of your box. It's meant to be, and leave it that way. These are the overlays for the lid. So what I like to do with these is I'm going to duplicate it once, but then I'm going to flip it. And this is just so you've got a variation in your overlays. I don't think I've got a great picture of that one all the way around, but if you look at the lid here, you can see that the pattern isn't repeated. I've cut 2 different versions of the overlay, and then when I stick them on, I turn some of them upside down. So you've got the sort of the same theme, but you've just not got that pattern stepped and repeated all the way around your box. It looks a little bit different every time. So that's why I duplicate it and then I flip it horizontally, and now I can duplicate it. So I've got 4, 6, 8, and the same with this one. I'll duplicate it once and then I'm going to flip it. If you're cutting it from card that's not one-sided, you don't need to flip it because you can actually just flip your piece of card. But my overlays, I cut it from some gorgeous satinized metallic card, so I had to just use one side of it. So I'm going to flip that horizontal again, and then I want 8. So I've got 2 there, 4, 6, 8. These are for the drawer fronts, and you can see you've even got the little hole cut out that the handle threads through. So you can do the same with these. That little hole is central, so duplicate it, flip it horizontal if you're using single-sided card like me, and then we need 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. So that would be a whole project, big one actually, much bigger than the one I made, where you've got your deep base, your lid, flowery overlays for every face, and a set of drawers underneath. So this is going to be a lot of paper, but now just to make sure that we can cut it on A4 or letter, let's go and choose it. So those are the overlays. You'd need 3 sheets of A4 for that. We'll have a look at letter in a sec. So there we are. There aren't many small things you can fit on. But look there, the base or the lid does fit on A4. You need 27 sheets. That's if you were just making the whole massive project, which I don't actually show in my pictures. Pretty sure you can still choose a letter, but we'll just make absolutely sure. Yeah, I think there's nothing that won't fit in the length of letter. Yeah, and it's the same requirement. It's still 27 sheets in total, including your overlays. That's massive. Don't be put off by that, because it's not likely, I don't think, that you're going to make a deep base, a lid, a whole set of drawers for that particular project. But if you did, if you wanted to, that's what it would be. If you made what I made, which is I didn't make drawers, so we're going to get rid of the drawers, but I did have oh no, I made a deep base, didn't I? Let's just go back, undo that. Yeah, I'm going to leave the deep base on and the lid and the overlays, but I didn't have drawers, so I'm just going to delete those. But we need everything else there to make this one. This is what I'm showing you how to cut now. So if you wanted to make that, again, you can choose A4 or letter. 3 sheets again for the overlays. Yeah, probably can't squeeze them on there, can we? And again, I mean, it's reduced down. You can use A4. You can still use 12 by 12, obviously, but if you use A4, that's a bit more like it, isn't it? 11 sheets, including your overlays, to make that box there, which is still a lovely, big keepsake box. Lovely and strong as well. Okay, I could go on forever really showing you all the different versions that you can make. It's a really versatile collection of files, is this, because you can really choose the style, the shape of box you want to make, and then of course, because you've got these different overlays, you can make your own. You've got the inset panels. If I get back to this black and white box here, you could create offsets of those to make borders like mine, and then even have your own inlay. You could just make a crisscross grid inlay, or bring anything in that you've already got and make your own decorative pretty latticed overlays to go on it. And you can also, if you're making it a little bit small, no, you can actually do print then cut with that, I think, at 26 centimeters wide. You could do it out of A3 anyway, maybe not. Yeah, not tabloid probably, but you could do that from A3. But if you reduced it down a bit, then you could even do print then cut and make them a little personalized message on top. I think I've shown you everything you need to see. If you've got any questions when you come to cut or assemble it, please do not hesitate to get in touch. I'm not recommending this project for a beginner, not because it's especially difficult to understand, but there are quite a lot of pieces to it, and you really do need to be a good paper crafter, I think, to make this and achieve a nice result with it. But if you like having a go, if you like being challenged, then by all means have a go. Just be aware that it is quite a demanding project, I think, if you want a super result at the end. You can get in touch via Facebook or Etsy, whichever you like. The links to do that are in the description below this video. And if you just stumbled across the video and you'd like to buy the file, there's a link to do that there as well. Don't forget, if you're purchasing 3 or more SVG files at one time from the Tanglecraft Studio Etsy shop, the link is in the description, you can use the 30 for 3 discount code to get 30% off your total purchase. This offer runs all the time, but you need to use that code when you check out. And if you haven't already joined the Tanglecraft Studio Facebook group, join now to get any special Etsy discount codes issued to group members and to take advantage of the free SVG files I give away in the group from time to time. The link to the group is in the description. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.